welcome back. Again, my name is Lisa. I'm with Queen Bee Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make an adorable card. We're going to be working on this little cutie right here. It's using a new stamp set out of our new catalog. Hopefully by now you guys have your copy of the 2020 to 2021 annual catalog. This stamp set is called Nothing Better Than, and it's made by, or was helped design by, one of the gals who made her $1 million in sales. So I thought that was pretty exciting, and she made an adorable stamp set. It's on page 91 of your Stampin' Up! Catalog. It's right down here at the bottom. There's lots of great examples up here, and it talks a little bit about the fact that she was able to design her set. This one was done by Connie Stewart, and it uses two-step stamping, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how we do that today. If you ever need any of the supplies that I use in any one of my videos, you can always find them online in my online store. I'm going to give you the hostess code, because if you use the hostess code, then you're going to get my customer appreciation PDF. Every single month, if you place a $30 order, I add on a PDF that I send you that is instructions for 6 different cards, usually surrounding one stamp set. This month it's using the Celebrate Sunflowers, which is one of the stamp sets out of the new catalog. I'm considering using this one for next month because I just think it's so cute and I've got lots of ideas to do with it. So let's go ahead and move you down to the work surface and I'll show you what we're doing. So here's our stamp set. Again, it's called Nothing Better Than, and it's got coffee, cookies, cocktails, and chocolate. All my favorites, right? And then it's got an adorable set of dies that goes with it, and the dies will cut out the cookie, coffee, chocolates, and cocktail. Plus there's some words. There's chocolate, cocktails, cookies, coffee, and I love you more than. So just lots of great ideas. And for those word dies, I wanted to point out that we have 2 new products. It would be great to use with them. One of them is the Adhesive Sheets. You guys have heard me talk about these before. I absolutely love them. You put this, it's got 2 pieces or 2 sides to it. It's like double-sided glue, but in a sheet. And you would peel off one side and adhere it to your cardstock with one of the sticky sides, and then you would peel it off, stick it to your cardstock, run it through the die cutting machine, and when it comes out, all you have to do is peel off the other side and you have yourself a sticker. It's just awesome stuff. And if you wanted to give that sticker a little bit of dimension, we have these foam adhesive sheets. So not only is it a double-sided adhesive, but it's got the same material that dimensionals do in it. And so it's thicker. And so it will cut out the cardstock, the foam, with the die, and then you would have your word already popped up on dimensionals. Like, how cool is that, right? I always appreciate it when you guys comment and share my videos. It helps me so much in getting found out there. There's so many videos going live nowadays that it gets a little bit confusing for people. But the more that you comment, like, and share, the more that my video gets shown to people. So thank you so much for doing that. Like I said, we're going to be working with this card right here. And so this is using the new Designer Series paper, our stitched nested labels dies, and of course the new stamp set. And then I had some sequins that were left over from my paper pumpkin box. You're going to want to make sure that you pop on over to my blog tomorrow because I'm using the paper pumpkin kit to make some alternative projects, and they came out really cute. So you're going to want to be able to see those. But for this card, we're going to start out with a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11. And then we're going to score this at 5 1/2. Now you can do this with your trimmer or you can do it with the Simply Scored tool. I like our Simply Scored tool, especially when I want something to be exact, because as long as I push this way up into the corner firm, and then I can go on any one of these at 1/8 of an inch increments, and get exactly where I want it to go. So, and then of course, because I drew down on this, this became a valley, and I'm going to pop that up into a mountain. So that's when you're asking me which direction should you fold cardstock. Normally it doesn't matter. I found with our basic black it does, but normally it doesn't matter. But the general rule of thumb is that you turn a mountain into a valley. So this is just a little bit of a different orientation. Normally my cards will open this way, but I'm going to have it open from the side just for a little something different because I like to shake it up every once in a while. And then this is that new designer series paper that is so bright and colorful. Oh, and you guys have been wondering, you've asked me, when can I get one of those machines? Well, this larger die cutting machine we will have available to Stampin' Up! Demonstrators August 4th. And you can be one of those people to get the die cutting machine early by signing up now as a demonstrator. You get $125 for the Stampin' Up! Product for only $99. No shipping. They're going to ship it to you for free. You get to be a part of my team, and then you get to either stay and enjoy, or you can just stop. You could have gotten your $125 for $99, and then on August 4th, order out of our new holiday catalog. We can already view the PDF now, and then on August 4th, we can order new products. So you can get started on your holiday shopping and start picking out stamp sets to use on your Christmas cards earlier than the rest of everybody. But if you're bound and determined to have me make the money instead of you, then you will be able to order the large die cutting machine on September 1st. So again, I do appreciate it when those sales come through me. It does help me to continue to provide these video tutorials for you. It's the Artistry Blooms. This is the one we're using. If you notice, one side of the paper is very bold and bright and has lots of pattern to it. And I'm not a big, bold, bright pattern person, but the opposite side has these nice subtle ones. And I love the ombre effect that this one gives. Now we could do this with, sponging. We could, I've started playing around with these little brushes. I know some of you have seen these around. I've done a couple examples on how you can blend ink with those. Of course, we'll do more. But I'm going to take and use the subtle side of this. And of course, this was 11 inches by 4 1/4. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then we're going to adhere it. Now we do have the new Stampin' Seal. This is the replacement for Snail. It is wonderful stuff. It is much stickier and has a bigger container, so it also holds more. But it's still going to work the same way. You're just going to give it a little bit of a push down on the thing. There we go. And it just comes out just like the Snail does. You see the little glare? We had a little bit of a flip-flop in the house this weekend, and so my office got moved around, and it's surprising you're not seeing total chaos in the background because we moved everything from downstairs up and from upstairs down. And now my husband's talking about moving it back. Don't ask me why. He's gone nuts. So that's going to be our card base. And then I'm going to take one of these stitched nested label dies, and I'm going to place this in the middle, but I'm going to stamp on it first. And those of you who know me know that we're going to stamp before we adhere, because if there's ever a boo-boo, we want to be able to flip it upside down and go on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. I'm going to use 2 of the new in colors. I'm going to use Magenta Madness and Bumblebee. So I'm going to come in with the stamps. This is the one that says Cocktails. Now these are photopolymer stamps, and so they will stain when using these brighter reds and purples. But it doesn't affect the way they work at all. They just stain, which bothers me, but it does not affect the way they stamp. And the sooner you try to get the ink off of it, the better, but there's that. Okay, for the second one, I'm going to come in and do this Because Adulting is Hard using the Bumblebee. So I'm going to bring this ink in. And I'm just doing a tap, tap, tap. You don't want to press too hard. Pressing too hard gives you kind of a halo effect around your stamp, and you don't want that excess ink. And then I'm going to come in with the little shapes. Now, if you'll notice, there's a cocktail and some chocolates on this one. And I just went ahead and stamped those in Memento black ink. So I stamped the 2 drinks. And then, let's see. The chocolate, as I was saying, comes in 2 pieces, and so I'm going to stamp the outlines of the chocolates. That's these little details that go around. I'm going to stamp those first. And this is an early espresso. And then I'm going to come in with the second piece, which is the solids. And I'm going to stamp this in that new cinnamon cider. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp that one inside of this one. So I'm going to bring it closer to me so I can look straight down from the top. And then it's going to fill in. Now it's a little bit off. I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, that's where the Stamparatus comes in handy, like tremendously, because you can set this in your Stamparatus. You can take this super clean stamp, you can arrange it on there exactly where you want it, use the top plate to pick it up, and then go back down, ink it, and then stamp, and it's perfectly centered. But for the sake of speed today, I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Now we also have a cookie. I thought I would show you that too. There's a cookie and a coffee cup. So the cookie has this little bite out of it. And then here's our coffee. I guess I'll just use the same colors. I was thinking I could change it up, but I already have these out, so let's go ahead and work with those. So I'm doing this the opposite way. I'm doing the inside and then the outside. Now it doesn't matter which direction you go, it's just whatever you're more comfortable with. Okay, so there's that one. And I got a little halo here because I didn't clean my stamp in between. And then there's our cookie. And so you can see how when they give you the inside to these things, it's really easy to just stamp the 2 different colors. Ugh, you're not getting the light, are you? Sorry. The change in the office, my cameras are set up in different spots. But I think you're getting the idea. Now I went ahead and colored this ones with Stampin' Blends just for the difference. You don't have to. They did give you a stamp in the set that has the ice cubes and the drink that would be inside of your cup, plus the umbrella and the lemon. And then there's also some steam that comes off of the coffee. I mean, it's all there for you. But I wanted to, I love my Stampin' Blends. I probably use them a lot more than normal, but they're just so fun to play with. They're so easy. I'd always admired those ladies that could use the Copics markers and they could make these amazing designs, and I thought I'd never be that talented because I'm not an artist, I'm a crafter. And I just thought there's no way I can do that. And then comes Stampin' Blends, and it's amazing how talented I all of a sudden got, which is awesome. Because all I have to do is stamp my dark, or color my dark color, and then go over it with the light while it's still wet. That's the key, is I want to overlap the 2 colors before the first one dries, because the idea is that we want them to blend together. And while they're wet, they're going to blend much easier. And I'm getting more ink on the one side and leaving it kind of light in the middle. And so that's how they get that shading. So you see how easy that was? It didn't take any talent whatsoever, which was very wonderful. I can use all the help I can get. Thank you, Barbara. But like I said, I am no artist. I promise you that. So this is the Purple Posy Dark, and I'm just using this for the umbrella. And then I had the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to use the dark for the rind. And then I'm going to use the light for the flesh. Because it's really little, and so it's kind of hard to get all the shading in there. But I liked this two-tone effect, that the rind was darker than the lemon itself. So, lights again. So there's our drink, and I did the two of them, and then I pulled out my handy dandy dies, and they would sit right over the top. And so the old dies used to give you kind of a white ring around the outside. These don't. These flush right up to it. So it makes it real easy for placement. And you can do all of them at once. As long as this is, 6 inches or less, so it'll fit through your machine. You can set all your dies on there. And then run it through the machine once, and they all cut out. And I went ahead and did that for us. So here are our die cuts. I've got some chocolates. And then I've got a couple drinks. Oh, forgot the inside of the lemon. Let's go ahead and do that. Then I'm going to bring my card base back in. And I'm going to want to center this right in the middle. But I want to pop it up a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. These are our standard size. I'm going to pop these on the back. And then when I want to put these on the sides, you'll notice that part of it is going to be on this upper layer and part of it's going to be on the bottom layer. And there's a height difference because we just put those Stampin' Dimensionals under this part. So I want to make this even out. So the pieces that are hanging off onto the side, which is going to be this underside of the cup and that one umbrella, I want those to be popped up. And so what I'm going to do is bring in my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put it as close to the edge as I can get it. And then I'm peeling off the back. Okay, so one dimensional is under here and one's under there. So now they're flush. Does that make sense? Okay, then I'm going to do the same kind of thing with the other side. So it's going to be the opposite side of the cup and the lemon. And then I'm going to add a few little chocolates down here. And so I want my dimensionals down on the bottom. For the inside, I'm just going to go ahead and take a plain old piece of cardstock and I'm going to lay that in here. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And when I trimmed off the outside excess, I had this little strip. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Now look, I'm a little bit short, but I haven't glued it down yet, and so that's the beauty of it. I can take this over to my trimmer and I can just trim a little bit down to make sure that we're even, because I'd rather have it too long than too short. So come in with their, and I always cut off the excess from the back side because it's easier to see the difference in color between the white and the color. So now that's ready for the inside of our card. Oh, and I probably want to stamp a little something in the middle. So on this one I did another drink down in the corner. We can do that again. And you could use an inside sentiment or not, it's up to you. I just wasn't sure what I was going to use this card for yet, so I didn't do anything yet. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll make a lot of cards, especially with like flowers or, something generic. You can make them up ahead of time and then add the sentiment last minute. And then you can go from a I'm thinking of you to a get well to a happy birthday, all with the same card. Some of you may have seen the set I did a while back where I did a whole box full of cards, real quick and easy beginner cards, and then we made labels for the outside, and some of them said, with sympathy, thinking of you, thank you, happy birthday, get well. And then we just left them on the Stampin' Dimensionals in the box, and then when they were ready to send their card, all they had to do was pick out a card, pick out sentiment, stick it on, and they were good to go. So always a good idea if you just want to be creating but you're not sure what you want to create it for, that might be an option. And then I just took some, like I said, these sequins I had left over from the paper pumpkin kit. And you can put these wherever. I mean, sequins kind of land randomly. It's like throwing confetti. You don't know where they're going to land. So they look pretty wherever they fall. I let these ones fall on the white, and I let the last one fall on the color. See, they're up here on the corner, and I like them both. So just have fun with it. Like I said, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and through the sales of my store is how I'm able to provide these videos for you and teach you how to make some beautiful cards. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank all of you for joining me. I will put up all the links and comment back for any questions that were asked, and thanks for joining me. Bye.